Good evening everybody, CryptoStrang here. This evening, following on from the other videos that I've done where we spoke about these low cap smart contract platforms, this evening I'm going to talk about eRadix, EXRD. There's actually two tokens in their ecosystem, EXRD and XRD. We'll go through both of them, but you can see on the screen it's currently ranked 258 with a market cap of approaching 373 million, so still relatively low. Volume in the last 24 hours, nearly 10 million. We've only got 17% of EXRD out there. So it's obviously not a lot. It's a relatively new project. The total max supply will be 4,410 million. Okay, so it's a lot to go. Now, EXRD is actually available on many exchanges, on your Gate, KU Coin, pretty much all the coins are covered on those, aren't they, let's be honest, MEXC. So it's on various other ones as well, but they're the main ones that I use all the time, and I'm very happy with those exchanges. So eRadix, I've only been sort of following this project literally for the last 6-7 weeks. Again, perhaps it would be nice to have found it a bit earlier. However, found it, I think personally, again, similar when we talk about other projects like Quantex, Telos, etc. For me, they're definitely long term. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be the next Solana or the next Avalanche. However, with what they're planning and their technology they're stating, it's got huge potential. Now, it's never financial advice. It's entirely up to you if you want to go and get some of these tokens. Me personally, I'm just going to, like many others, we also talked about Multivac recently as well. These sort of projects I'm at the moment just literally buying at what I believe they're low price. Now, it's entirely up to you, as I say, but to me, these smart contract platforms are very low at the moment. But as we always know, time will tell. Not all will win. You know, if we did enter a bear market, some of these projects, you know, even the ones in the top 100 could actually drop down the market quite a lot. We talked about Elastos recently, you know, how much that's dropped in the chart, Neblio and Nebulas and many others, you know, from the previous bull run. So there's certainly no guarantee that any of these will make a huge success, but what I see, huge potential with their roadmaps, with their team, their development. So it's got all the fundamentals, their ecosystem, to be huge and very successful. Okay, now we're talking about what is EXRD token. The eRadix token on the Ethereum network is the wrapped representation of XRD. Okay, now EXRD serves as a permanent link between the Radix and Ethereum networks. Okay, and it can exchange one-to-one with XRD via Instabridge or exchanges such as Bitfinex. Now, the XRD token is only available on Bitfinex, but I say EXRD, the wrapped version, is on all those other exchanges I mentioned. Okay, EXRD was basically started in November 2020 on the Ethereum network as an ERC20 token. EXRD will never expire, so there will never be a cutoff for swapping between EXRD and XRD. Okay. Now, also scrolls here, you sort of basically gives you a lot of information, like the purpose, in the same way that WBTC, the wrapped version of Bitcoin, allows for representation of Bitcoin to be used in Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem. EXRD allows for representation of Radix XRD token to be used in Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem. Okay, so quite a lot of information on their sites, how they're sort of progressing, but as we always find on their Medium page, get a lot of information. They've done this report, which is on the 28th of October, the Radix report, and it states there how they're constantly progressing. It had a very in-depth, the problem with smart contracts there. We talked about the second generation of Ethereum and even talked about other ones, you know, the latest ones, the third generation. Okay, so they really are going full on to say they are the next level of smart contracts. Okay, now obviously it's all about them getting partnerships and investment, but they've got obviously a very nice market cap now. But as they develop, you can see how it could be easily past $1 billion market cap in no time at all. Okay, and that's what I'm thinking with this project. It's got so many parts to it. It's incredible. So, as I say, it's the first layer one protocol. Its main purpose is to serve DFI. Obviously, you know, the applications are currently built on protocols that are not fit for purpose, is what they're saying, leading to congestion. Obviously, we talk about Ethereum all the time and developer frustration. So, Radix wants to basically change this by introducing a scalable, which is obviously huge. That's one of the biggest problems we've got, secure by design, and just make it a real solid DeFi project. Okay, now when you go on their site, radixdlt.com, now when you go on their main dashboard, you see here, it compares its layer 1 DeFi, and it says layer 1 DeFi done right, and it says 10 times the developer productivity, 100 times more DeFi security in other projects, but this is the big statement, 1,000x more scalability than, you can see it on the screen, it's now saying Solana, Polkadot, all the big smart contract platforms. Avalanche is basically saying all the ones we know. Okay, now I say I've only got this project literally about 2 weeks ago. I've been following it ever since. I've been doing a lot of research on this project ever since. I thought about time I'd done a video on it. I need to start the staking, obviously. But you can see there, basically, when they set 1000x, they go through every project. You can see they've gone Cardano, Polygon, Avalanche, and they state there, look, anything, okay? So, when it states there, 10 times developer productivity, developers waste up to 90% of their time battling code, okay? And that's what Radix wants to make it easy. 100x more DeFi security, okay? Nearly $1 billion of DeFi hacks in the past 2 years. This puts everyone at risk, okay? 1,000 more scalability. That is, I say, is a massive statement, okay? And obviously their statement's true. A $200 fee for a $20 transaction is infuriating. That's obviously referring to Ethereum, but when you think of the other ones, when you think of Solana, Cardano, then the fees are very minimal, okay? So I say, to make this sort of statement is huge. Radix is the only decentralized network where developers will be able to build quickly without the constant threat of exploit and hacks, okay? It's talking about use cases, smart money apps, okay? Radix is building an open, interconnected platform where the full range of powerful DeFi applications will be built securely and safely, from asset tokenization to DEXs, yield optimization, flash loans, yield incentives, shall I say, collateralized lending, perpetual futures, liquid staking, NFTs, okay? Secure the network and tokens. Staking provides a critical function for the network, it says what I need to get into, to help ensure network security. 300 million Radix are generated by the protocol every year and shared amongst those staking, okay? So obviously over time, we talked about it's only 17%, but as you go through the tokenomics, you can see exactly what they're doing. And I just like the fact that I like this picture. They talk about the Radix ecosystem. They've got the Chainlink there. They've got the Ren, another great project we spoke about many times. Okay, you just scroll through, okay? I think the site just offers a lot of information. Obviously, we always talk about the team, don't we? That's obviously very important. You can see there, it's got quite a big team there. The main ones, the CEO, exactly the directors. But I go through the site and I can see huge progress being made. Okay, and time will tell how they keep developing. Obviously, they've made some massive statements, and it says there 100% of all transaction fees are burned. 53.8% of token supply is locked on average across proof of stake networks. Stakables, 300 million, I say, per year will go to stakers. So it won't take long for that, that supply to really come down what's actually available. States there, a token to kickstart a DeFi economy, okay, was launched to ensure the mainnet is sufficiently decentralized to build effective bridges between Ethereum and Radix and to integrate key pieces of infrastructure. And it talks about there all the different parts they can do. It talks about obviously the exchanges. Again, how do transaction fees work on Radix? Are they burned? States there, transaction fees are a small amount of XRD that must be paid with each transaction processed by the Radix public network. Transactions on Radix are instructions to change the state of Radix ledger. An example of transaction is to transfer tokens from one wallet account address to another. It talks about there, transaction fees on Radix are burned by the Radix protocol, reducing the total supply of XRD. Okay, and they've also got Instapass, which is like a single sign-on compliance for DeFi, making KYC compliance one-click simple for DeFi users, protocol, as well as applications. Okay, Instapass for DeFi is something they're really developing very well. Again, they're just trying to make blockchain, cryptocurrency, DeFi itself very easy, quick, scalable, etc. Okay, now they've also got InstaBridge. I talked about obviously the Ethereum to the Radix protocol. And it states there more crypto assets fast, secure, and gas efficient. Okay, cross-chain made simple. 3 simple ways to move your crypto assets cross-chain. Hopefully they build some more bridges. Perhaps they get a Cardano bridge. Who knows? Polkadot. Who knows? But I thought it was really interesting. Now, bear in mind this project is still relatively low. Low market cap in some respect, and they keep developing. Now we go on to XRD. Now the market cap for this, they're not sure about. Okay, now they're not sure, but they could be up to 4 billion. They really need to clarify that, obviously. But when you look at the total supply, then it's basically about 40%, for example, roughly about that. Volume last 24 hours need 3 million. Now, the thing is with XRD, you can only get on Bitfinex, which isn't a huge exchange. I've never used it myself, but that's what XRD is. Hence why, it's only 51 cents. But say with them, They really need to clarify the market cap. That's something I just could not find the information about the actual final market cap, what it is. CoinGecko didn't know it either, and looked at various other ones as well. And it states there, what is the XRD token? Basically, the Radix token is the native token of the Radix public network, obviously, with ticker XRD. XRD saw its genesis in July 2021 as part of the genesis of the Radix public network. There were two primary uses of XRD. It's obviously a fundamental part of the Radix delegated proof of stake. And it talks about there how it's, you scroll down there, you can see the limit of 100 validators is expected to be removed, allowing for an unlimited number of validators as part of the Radix XRM release. Transaction fees. XRD is also used to pay transaction fees on the Radix public network. Okay, we've seen there quite a few projects over the time where they have these, you think of VE Chain and the VTHO, which is the token for the gas. Okay, so it's a different way of doing it. We don't see any sort of other smart contract platforms having a wrapped version like this, or another coin, sort of one and that's it. So what they're doing, you can see, if they reach what they're stating, you can see this being absolutely fantastic. But they're making huge statements to be 1,000 better than all the smart contract platforms. Obviously, it really raises your interest if they're going to reach all their goals, because you can see them. If it did do that, we're talking about a fourth generation here, aren't we? And it's going to do absolutely fantastic. So you also go on here on the radixscan.io and you can see the overview of the network metrics and the staking metrics. APY is not huge, 11.59. However, at the moment, you can't stake it anywhere. Obviously, I've been looking, but I cannot find it anywhere apart from I need to go through the actual site. You can't do it on an exchange, for example. So just want to give you an overview of some of these smart contract platforms. I showed you the other day that the chart from CoinGecko showing all the smart contract platforms. And there's quite a few low cap ones there. And I've sort of been the last few months, certainly the last couple of weeks, really sort of finding out these low cap gems, ones that I'm really super bullish on now. Coming across this one, I say hopefully it's a hidden gem. So it's entirely up to you, but certainly keep on your radar. Now, I say EXRDs on KuCoingate.io, got the links below if you want to join those exchanges. It does help the channel, but it's entirely up to you. But we need to really keep a close eye on this project, like many others. I say we've spoken about quite a few platforms lately, and we follow them all very closely. So thanks very much for listening. Anyone help as usual, email me info@cryptostrain.com, all social media links below. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll chat again soon. Cheers now. Bye.